Elite Facts presents
50 random facts you may not have known. Number 4.
50.
Only 1/3 of the snakes that starred in the movie Snakes on a Plane were real, and no more than 60 real snakes were on set at any one time.
49.
2/3 of the world's polar bears live in Canada.
48.
Microsoft had offered to buy Yahoo for $44.6 billion in 2008. Yahoo rejected the offer, and in 2016 it sold for just $4.8 billion.
47.
In the Saxon kingdoms of Britain, 240 sterlings were minted from a pound of silver, hence the currency pound sterling.
46.
It took Quebec 30 years to pay off its debt from hosting the 1976 Summer Olympics.
45.
Lady Gaga has won 12 separate Guinness World Records. One of these records includes most product placement in a video. Sorry, Foo Fighters, photos don't count.
44.
Legendary horror writer Stephen King actually sleeps with his lights on. Why would he, of all people, be scared of the dark?
43.
Apollo astronauts trained in Iceland because it was felt that the terrain would most resemble the surface of the moon.
42.
The hole in the ozone layer that sits directly over Antarctica is more than twice the size of Europe.
41.
Roughly 90,000 animals died to create Damien Hirst's artwork.
40.
Only 30 to 50 of the original Apple I computers still exist, with originals selling for over $50,000.
39.
The man who invented the McDonald's Big Mac burger in 1967, Michael Jim Delligatti, passed away in 2016 at the ripe old age of 98.
38.
There's an abandoned T-34 tank located in Bermondsey, southeast London, on the corner of Mandela Way. This tank hasn't been removed due to a planning dispute with the council, so it was just left where it was found. Graffiti artists have made good use out of it, turning it into a cool piece of street art.
37.
Bill Gates' net worth is so high that if he was to drop a $100 bill, it would literally not be worth his time to pick it up.
36.
As dangerous as the trip is up and down Mount Everest, this hasn't stopped people from getting married at the top of it. Nepal citizens Pem Dorji and Mani Mulpati both climbed to the top of the mountain's peak on May 30th, 2005, and tied the knot on top of the highest point in the world. Here's a bonus fact for you. The youngest person to climb to the top of Mount Everest was the 13-year-old Jordan Romero back in May of 2010.
35.
Believe it or not, condoms are listed as smoking alternatives in all Tesco stores in the United Kingdom. We're not going to ask why.
34.
In the 1971 version of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the flower-shaped teacup Willy Wonka takes a bite of was actually made of wax. Actor Gene Wilder would continue to chew the wax throughout the scene and then spit it out when the scene was done.
33.
In Japan, the likelihood of being killed by a gun is about the same as an American's chance of being killed by lightning.
32.
Mail was delivered 12 times per day in Victorian London.
31.
Disney has credited their coffee guy in 8 of their films, including Zootopia and Frozen.
30.
Sheep were grazing in Central Park until 1934, when they were moved during the Great Depression for fear that they would be eaten.
29.
One of the 13 articles in the 1781 U.S. Articles of Confederation states that if Canada wants to be admitted into the U.S., it will automatically be accepted.
28.
The pins and needles tingling sensation that happens when your foot falls asleep is called paresthesia.
27.
Grown almost exclusively in Morocco, the Argania is a rare and protected species that produces an annual fruit crop that's so delicious that it attracts legions of local goats who hop up into the branches to pick out the fruit.
26.
The Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum offers audio tours in Klingon, a fictional language from Star Trek.
25.
Cats are the most popular pet in the US, aside from fish, with 88 million cats versus 74 million dogs.
24,
Grand Theft Auto 5 has more in-game websites than North Korea has in real life.
23,
The mother of Matt Groening, creator of The Simpsons, was called Marge Wiggum.
22,
Roman charioteers earned far more than even the best-paid footballers and international sports stars today.
21,
Sperm whales are the loudest animals on Earth. Their calls reach up to 230 decibels.
20,
In 2013, Bill Gates surprisingly admitted that the Control-Alt-Delete command was a mistake and should have been a single button.
19,
When Michelangelo was first offered the job of painting the Sistine Chapel, he refused. As of the time of the offer, he considered himself to be more of a sculptor rather than an artist.
18,
Breathing 100% oxygen instead of the 21% in our atmosphere is generally bad and sometimes toxic.
17,
P-Cola is a popular soft drink in Ghana. I doubt we'll be trying that anytime soon.
16,
The London Underground was originally intended to terminate in Paris.
15,
The biggest dam built by beavers is twice as long as the Hoover Dam.
14,
Steven Spielberg waited 10 years after being given the story of Schindler's List to make the film, as he didn't feel mature enough at the time to take on such a controversial subject.
13,
Bob Dylan has been on a tour since 1988. The aptly named The Never Ending Tour has had over 2,700 shows around the world, almost 100 per year for 28 years straight.
12,
Before co-founding Apple and Pixar Studios, Steve Jobs had a steady job working at Atari.
11,
The Soviet Union tried to send tortoises into space and ended up going into space successfully and were brought back down a week later. When they returned, the tortoises lost 10% of their body weight.
10,
Some spiders disguise themselves as ants by pretending their two front legs are antennae.
9,
It would take 91 days to walk around the surface of the moon.
8,
The creator of Mario, Donkey Kong, and Zelda, Shigeru Miyamoto, is not allowed to ride a bicycle. The reason for this is because he became so valuable to Nintendo that they didn't want to risk anything happening to him, thus forcing him to drive a car instead of riding a bike.
7,
Hawaiian pizza was invented in Chatham, Ontario, Canada. My life is a lie!
6,
A bolt of lightning has enough energy to toast 100,000 slices of bread.
5,
5% of the people who buy lottery tickets account for 51% of all tickets sold.
4,
Facebook is blue because Mark Zuckerberg suffers from red-green color blindness.
3,
Flamingos are born gray but turn pink because of the shrimp they eat, which dyes their feathers.
2,
Obama has 2 Grammys for Best Spoken Word Album for 2 of his books, while Katy Perry has been nominated for 13 Grammys but hasn't won any.
1,
Before refrigerators were invented, Russians and Finns kept their milk fresh by putting live frogs in it.
Don't forget to like us and subscribe for more elite facts.